There's a difference between being alone and feeling isolated. I'm Dr. Anthony Collado. I'm a board-certified psychiatrist. In this video, I would like to shed some light on what it means to be alone versus the feeling of loneliness and what one can do about it. A few resources that are going to be used in this talk is recently I went to the National Psychiatry Conference where there's leading experts on psychiatry worldwide, and they talk about this period of loneliness. And then also a Christian bishop who wrote a book on how to overcome loneliness. And he writes about the psychological and the spiritual aspects. So loneliness is a little bit different than just being alone. Loneliness is this distressing feeling that one can have from being alone or isolated from others. It can happen in teenagers to adults, in the rich and poor, in the healthy and the sick. Maybe the person is even in a crowd of people, but they can feel lonely. Now, it's this perception of feeling lonely or alone that they have, and that can be distressing and troublesome. And so this distressing feeling is what can have these burdens of mental and physical problems down the road. But much of this is just a perception. It can be a mindset or attitude change. For instance, in some cases, being alone may be considered more of a virtue that can be worked on spiritually rather than a psychological problem or a deficit in someone's character or their being. For example, if someone is working to become independent, maybe this period of being alone is going to be healthy and help them to carve out that independence that they're working for. One of the challenges is that if someone is often alone, they may get down on themselves for being alone or for not being around other people. And they may see it inherently as a negative thing and sort of get into this rabbit hole of thinking that maybe they're no good, that no one likes them, that they're not valuable, etc. But if someone can just change that thinking and maybe see themselves as someone who's inherently good and valuable and is of significant worth to other people, maybe they can use this time of being alone to work on something that they enjoy, like a craft that they want to excel at. Maybe it's art or poetry, music, science. And these are gifts that can not only be helpful for themselves, but for the community at large. And also, it's oftentimes serving community, helping to focus on the well-being of others, helps people to not worry so much about themselves or get down on themselves. Now, oftentimes this feeling of loneliness or isolated from others actually can happen when people are living in crowded cities or busy areas. And a lot of the communication or the dealings with other people are superficial and not on a deep level. Now, technology has so many good things that can come with it, but this can also lead to superficial conversations or interactions that may lead to people feeling lonely or isolated. Even from a spiritual aspect, there's several people we can learn from who have spent times being alone. David is a prophet and a king in the Old Testament, and there's many times that he was alone because he was being chased by King Saul or people who wanted to kill him. And he had no choice but to rely and strengthen his relationship with God and hope that God will help protect him and guide him through the process. Even Christ himself had periods of being alone where he used that time to strengthen his relationship with God. And it's through this relationship with God that Christ was really able to show us that we can have a powerful impact on other people's lives as well. So these periods of being alone are not something to beat oneself up about, but it's something that we can nourish our souls, use it well and wisely, and use it in a way that can be good for ourselves and humanity. Now, if someone is having these negative thoughts or negative core values or beliefs that they're no good, they're useless, they're worthless, then just trusting or believing that people are very valuable and precious, and in the Christian faith, all people are made in God's image and likeness, so we're made to be created like God. So we are very powerful, precious, unique beings in God's eyes. And so that alone should help protect us from getting too down on ourselves if we are feeling lonely or isolated from others. Helping people to have fond memories of their life can also help them to not get so down on themselves. It can help brighten their thoughts, their mood, and their overall well-being. As mentioned, helping in the community and getting outside of oneself to help others can also help separate people from this feeling of being alone. Group activities can also help, including bringing a sense of accountability to others. But overall,
it just shows how powerful the mind can be. And so this perception of how we're viewing ourselves, how we're viewing reality, how we view life can really have important consequences, not only on the here and now, but down the road. So loneliness can lead to mental health and physical problems, but being alone can actually be something very useful that we can take advantage of to help not only ourselves, but society at large. Hopefully you liked this video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel to help support the channel, and like the video for more videos like this one.